So one thing is I love to talk. So getting to talk a lot is really great. And at one time I thought, wouldn't it be great to make my living talking? So I'm almost doing that right now with all of you. So those of you that have tried blindfold reading, you know that when you first try it, there's both this anticipation, like you're excited to see what's going to happen, but also the doubt, like what if I can't do it? So I found that even though I've had my Garbha for, I think we've had it around 2 weeks, and I've been holding it during all my calls, I found that when the instructions came 2 days ago, that now you're to hold it in your hand, visualize what you want to happen, or just ask the Garbha to help you with it. So I had, my first call came and I had that doubt, like, uh-oh, what if it doesn't actually talk to me? And what is that even like, talking? Is it going to like whisper in my ear? Or I really didn't know what to think because I hadn't had that experience. So I had a call with a woman. She had asked for me, and she told her whole story. Actually, it was a story of sort of wanting to go to Paramashivoham 216 and sort of not. And so that she started very fast talking. It was like she was getting revved up. But then slowly it was winding down as she came to the conclusion that because her husband didn't want to go, she probably would not be going to Paramashivoham 2016. And there we kind of ended on this awkward, like, okay, she's not going note. Like, a lot of times when you cause, they're excited. This was not excitement. So then I closed my eyes and I told her, I said, I'm going to mute you for a minute because I'm going to use my Garbha. I'm going to go inside and see what the Garbha has to say. So I muted her and I closed my eyes, and immediately I got a flash of it's a Catholic basilica in Cary, Ohio. It's in the middle of nowhere. In fact, the fact that there's a basilica in Ohio at all is strange. So I had a flash of this and I immediately doubted, and I thought, this is so much like my third eye work. I thought, oh my God, this is Swamiji. This is Sadashiva. This is Hinduism. This is everything that the basilica in Cary, Ohio is not. So this can't be right. So I sort of tried to erase my brain or whatever. So I got quiet again and I held again and again. I said, show me what I need to tell this person. And again, that was even bigger. This basilica, I saw the inside. So then I told her, I said, okay, I'm having a little technical difficulty. I'm going to mute you again. And I turned to the person next to me and I said, I'm having a vision of a Catholic basilica. Do you think I should tell her? And she goes, no, that's too weird. So I again closed my eyes and was just quiet. And third time it came very strongly. So I said, all right, I'm just going to share it. So I unmuted her. I said, this is what I got. See if you think do you get any click with this? So I described the whole basilica and the fact that it worshipped Mary in the Catholic religion. She can have many faces. Like for me growing up, you would go to different churches and there'd be a different facet of Mary. This particular basilica was called the Lady of Our Sorrows, and busloads of people come to this basilica, especially from Detroit, where they just go pour out their grief and their sorrow, and many come and have miraculous healings at this basilica. So I was explaining all this to her, and she was very quiet. I said, is there any reason I would be telling you this? She was very, very quiet and said, actually, yes. Last year, someone very close to me died of breast cancer, and she very much worshipped Mary and was highly connected to her. The church that she went to in her town was called the Lady of Our Sorrows. And then I said, so then what do you think? And she said, I think I need to go back to that church and finish what I didn't finish with her. And the woman was connected to the husband, a relation. She said, I think this is going to start unwinding the blockage my husband is having to coming to Paramashivoham. So she said the next day, first thing when she got up, she's going to go, and I have yet to hear. So, that was the night. So now I'm waiting to hear the outcome of her having this completion. So that was my first experience. It felt very successful after I got over my doubt. Thank you. Okay, the next caller came on, and she told me her story, and right away I saw gold lettering, and I thought, oh my God, I'm seeing the Akashic reading. I was so excited. I was sort of jumping like this, and I closed my eyes, and then it was kind of gone. So I again said, all right, show me what I need to see. And there it was again, gold letters. And I was so excited I couldn't pay attention to see what it said. But then it morphed into like a New York neon sign, and it was gold letters on black flashing, and it was going, Akashic reading, Akashic reading, Akashic reading. So I don't believe it was the Akashic records. I believe I was supposed to tell her very strongly to go to the next Akashic reading, and so she did, and that chapter's done. But that was, again, such a very fun. Here's the thing, when you relax with the third eye or with the Garbha, it's pure fun. And that fun is totally connected to Swamiji. In fact, he says, if you're not having fun with it, it really can't happen. So now after these two, I started having fun. So then the third one that I'll share, the last one, is another person called, and after hearing the story, she said, you know, I feel like I should make my money selling ice cream. And I know this person, she really wants to be a fashion designer, and I feel really called to support her on her path as a single woman to make millions as a fashion designer. So I was a little wondering why she's switching to ice cream. So I said, I don't know about that. Why are you thinking of ice cream? And she said, oh my God, where I live now, it doesn't matter what you sell or do. If it's connected with ice cream, everybody buys it. She's in Texas right now. She said, if you want to buy and sell hats, do it with ice cream. If you're selling jewelry, do it with ice cream. She says it looks like it's the miracle selling point. And just then, this time I didn't have a picture. I had a strong voice, and I believe, for me, it sounded exactly like Swamiji's voice. It said, whatever you're, okay, I'm going to see if I can get it exactly. Like if you're having, or whatever is your creative outlet that you can, how Swamiji has said that you can be in business by yourself, you need to follow that. And then because it was coming in a different way for me, I was kind of like, oh, I have to get this, you know, what if I didn't get it right? But then it was just repeated exactly, just word for word. So as each word was happening in my head, I just said it out loud on the phone to her. And then she was so happy because she felt like it was a blessing to go ahead and pursue the fashion design ice cream in Texas. So those are 3 of my first stories using the Garbha for causing. Oh no, can I tell one more? Okay, I forgot, the most important one was last night, very late, 4 o'clock in the morning. So this woman knows she's going to Paramashivoham. She only met Swamiji 1 week ago. Something completely opened up in her, and the beautiful thing that happened in her Akashic reading, she's been having prayers that are in a different language. So her question in the Akashic reading was, what is the language? The Balasant was looking up as they were invoking Kalabharava, and then she turned to her and she said, it's Swamiji speaking Sanskrit to you. And the minute she said that, this woman had a very large emotional reaction. She said it had been, she's been hearing this for years. She said it was as if all this was bottled up in her, and when she heard it was Swamiji speaking Sanskrit, it just, everything opened up and came out. So I was working with her. She's definitely going, but she has no money. So last night we were talking, and I wasn't having anything. This wasn't really talking to me. I wasn't having any ideas. So I was just sitting there. I said again, let me just be quiet for a minute. And then the thought was, like we've done with lots of causers, let's make a list of possible money opportunities. But the difference was that the Garbha told me to entangle with her. Now, we haven't technically done it. We've done it with the Balasants. So I said, all right, so what I'm going to do is entangle my third eye with you. So whatever I'm hearing from the Garbha, you're also going to be hearing and picking up. So the first thing I did quietly is I said, she's going to have an FC now. She's going to be fully caused now. She's going to know the source of the money. It's going to be happening now. So I had that thought. Then we went through, I said, well, each say a name, any name that comes up, because usually we try to think logically who it is. This time I said any name. So I had the name Mark, she had some other name, then I had the name Sue, then she had some really weird name that started with O, and I said, that sounds like a made-up name. She goes, no, it's just a weird name. So then we both sat there, and I said, so are you getting anything? And she said, no, nothing. And I said, well, let's think about Mark first. Like, go back. Anything you can think of any marks in your life. So that took a few minutes, and she finally said, no, there's nothing about Mark. So then the second name, which was something like ODME. I don't even know where that came from. And then she goes, oh my God, I know who this is. It's a woman in my town. She's a philanthropist. She's very wealthy, and I know her. She goes, I'm going to call her tomorrow. And immediately I was thinking, this is supposed to be now. But I didn't say anything. She goes, I'm going to call her tomorrow. I'm going to tell her exactly what I want and what I'm doing. And she also said right then, does this organization have any charitable arm? Or, so I immediately told her about the Sarvanya Pita. Okay, then she goes, stop everything. I'm getting a message. Swamiji coming in. He says I have to do it now. Okay, I guess I have to call her right now. So that all happened. She wrote an email. She called her. I haven't heard yet the outcome. I have to always wait till the next day after we get up. But I'm sure something's going to happen. She downloaded the Sarvanya Pita book. She's going to take the whole thing over to her and explain the whole situation. So it's just such an exciting thing this causing, and some of us are doing it together as a team. That makes it even more exciting and more powerful. So thank you for listening. Use your Garbha. It'll really talk to you or show you.